Welcome to the Department of Offense. Now this is where you learn how to move the ball. Now if you can't move the ball, you can't score. And if you can't score and score a lot of points, you really can't win. So I'm going to get out of here and let you study hard.
Yeah, anytime that you know you're going to pass and they know that you're going to pass and they know that you know you're going to pass, you want to get more wide receivers in the game. And that's what this formation is here. You have 3 wide receivers. Here's your normal X wide receiver to the weak side. Here's your normal strong wide receiver to the strong side, who would be the flanker. And then your 3rd wide receiver, you put him in the slot. So now you don't have a tight end here. See, there's no tight end here. He's the guy that you take out. But you get wide receiver here, wide receiver here, wide receiver here, and you still have 2 backs in the backfield to either become blockers or receivers. Got it? Now, when you get in a sure passing situation and you have good receivers on your team, then you want to get as many of those guys on the field as you can. Now, in this formation here, we know we're going to pass, and the defense knows we're going to pass, so we put in 4 wide receivers. Here's a wide receiver. Here's a wide receiver. He becomes a slot receiver. Here's a slot receiver on the other side, and then here's the outside receiver. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers on the line of scrimmage. You can either put your quarterback back like this in shotgun or up behind the quarterback. Then you have this 5th guy here, again in the backfield, who can either be a blocker or he also can get out in the pass pattern, and then you would have 5 receivers out. Sometimes you want to strengthen your running formation by going 2 tight ends, a tight end on the right and a tight end on the left. But you don't want to bring in that 3rd tight end because you don't want to take away all your passing ability. Because here you still have a flanker out here. You still have a halfback who can get out here. So you can have a 3-man pattern to that side for the passing game. But again, you pick up strength by having 2 strong sides because you have 2 tight ends in there. You know, we look at the strength of the formation here and we see it's strong right because here's the tight end. Here's the flanker, so this is the strength of the formation. Now, how do we get to far formation? Again, the halfback is lined up far away from the strength of the formation. Now, again, this formation is good for strong side running. You can get your lead, you can get your power, you can even get a sweep here to your halfback. In the passing game, you can have your fullback block, and you can get your halfback out to the weak side quickly for the passing game. This is the I formation, where the backs line up in an I. Here's the fullback. He's lined up behind the quarterback. And here's the tailback, or the halfback. Now, in pro football, this is really not a good formation because it's not a good passing formation. But the thing that you can do now is you can take this guy in motion and you put him here. Now it's really near formation. If you put him in motion and he ends up here, it's really far formation. If you put him in motion and he ends up here, it's a double wing type formation. So for the passing game, you can take your I formation and break it up by motion. The other thing is with the running game, now it is very good because you have your lead blocker right here, and he can go strong side or he can go weak side and lead your tailback who can get in behind him. And then, of course, if the pursuit comes, he can always cut back against the grain from that formation. Anytime you get in short yardage, which is 3rd down and less than 2 yards, or on the goal line, which is within 3 yards of the goal line, you usually go to some type of jumbo package that includes more than 1 or 2 tight ends. So here's a tight end here, here's a tight end here, here's a tight end here. There are even some teams will put a 4th tight end here, and that will give you the power. I mean, look, if you want to run to the strong side, look at the power blocking you have. You have a blocker here, and you have these 2 big guys here. So anytime that you're in any short yardage situation and you're going to run the ball, you want to bring as many guys in as tight as you can and have them all be big and strong and good blockers. The first play is a lead. Now, from the I formation, the lead is always going to be the fullback doing the leading. Now, he can either lead in here on the weak side or he can lead in here on the strong side. Now, if you're looking for the Dallas Cowboy play, you say, who's this guy here? Of course, that's Moose Johnston. And most of the time they run this play, they run this lead to the weak side. He leads and blocks through here, and then, of course, Emmitt Smith gets in, and he gets in behind him. Now, if the defenders all come to this point, then he can cut this thing back. If they don't, then he can just take and just follow his lead right through the hole. You know, we talk about the strength of the formation, and it's always the side of the tight end and the flanker. So we look at this formation here, and that's a strong right. Now, if you take both backs and you line them up on the strong side, that's near formation. They are near to the strength of the formation. Now, the good thing about this is you can take your halfback and run him back here weak side. And the other thing is in the pass patterns, you can get your halfback, who's usually your best receiver, along with your tight end and your flanker, and get a three-man pattern out to the strong side and flood zones and those kinds of things. Yeah, this is a normal end alignment when you have a split end out here to the weak side. Again, the weak side is a side away from the tight end. Then on this side, you have the tight end and the flanker. So this becomes a normal formation. You have a split wide receiver here, you have a tight end here, and a flanker here. You always hear play action pass. What play action pass means is that you fake the run. Like you fake a lead here, put your fullback in here, fake your halfback in here. The quarterback fakes like he's going to hand it to him, then he comes back to pass. Now, the linemen have to do a good job of selling here. They have to fire out like it's a run play. Now, you want all these defenders in here to come forward to think run. Then you're going to try and get in behind them. So you usually run a pattern like this, a tight end coming in here, the flanker coming in here, and maybe this lead back you sneak out into the flat. We always hear about play action pass. Play action pass is where you fake the run, hold up the defense, and then throw in behind them. Pro formation is really split backs, where you get a halfback here and a fullback here. Fullback usually lining up on the strong side, which is the side of the tight end. Now, the good thing about this formation, it's a good formation to run or pass. In other words, you can be here and you can run your trap, you can run your leads in here, you can run your power off tackle, and you can run your sweeps. Then if you want to run weak side, then you can run the draw back here weak side to the fullback. The other thing it gives you is good passing, because you have a back here and a back here. There's a ball snap they can get right out into the pass pattern, into the formation. So it's not as good a running formation as far formation or near formation or I formation, but when you're talking about a combination of being able to run or pass, it's the best balanced formation you can get into. Anytime that you get the defense really flowing, like they're keying here on this back here, then that's when you want to use a reverse or end around. So you start him this way, and then you want to get the defense all running this way. Linebackers, defensive backs coming every way. Then you get them coming this way. Then you take this guy and you bring him back around to the opposite side. Now, usually you'll take this guard and start him like he's pulling this way. When this back is going this way, then he turns and he becomes the lead for your flanker or outside guy coming on the reverse after you get the play action going this way, and you hope you get all the defensive guys going this way. Then you hope that you get this guy out here all by himself, if you fool him. A rollout pass is where the quarterback is going to move his pocket, and he's going to go to the same side as the backs do. Now, usually on a rollout pass, this back would come out in the flat, the Z would run a hook, the tight end would run some kind of hook and slide, reading linebackers, the fullback would be a lead blocker, the quarterback would reverse pivot and roll out in behind the fullback, usually stopping behind his tackle to throw the ball from this position. So he'd be back here in a normal drop back. On a rollout, he rolls out to a position, again, usually behind the tackle. Shotgun formation is where you take your quarterback and you put him about 6 or 7 yards deep. Now, usually the quarterback is up here under the center, but in shotgun, you move him back and the ball is snapped to him directly. Now, this is usually a third and long situation. The advantage here is that the quarterback can see right now. He can look and he can see how the defense is aligned. He can see what their rotations are, what they're doing as the ball is being snapped, and he can back up and get away from the rush quickly. Of course, the disadvantage of it is there's not much running. So that's when a team goes to The shotgun, it's usually a sure passing down, unless you're the Denver Broncos and John Elway, of course, and he'll do it on any down. Single back is when you just have one back in the backfield, and that gives you an advantage that you can run to either side, right, or you can run left in here, and pick a hole. Most of your running has to be the inside running type. But the advantage that you get is you pick up another pass receiver on the line of scrimmage, because you have a receiver out here, which is normal. You have your tight end here. You have your flanker out here, which is normal. But now by going one back, you get another man on or near the line of scrimmage that can either be a blocker in a running game, or he can be a pass receiver where you can get four guys out now quickly as the ball snapped.
Ready.
This is a sweep play, where you're going to sweep the ball around the end. Now, what you usually do is you lead here to the strong side with your fullback. Your halfback's going to carry the ball. The quarterback reverse pivots, hands to him right here, and he's going to usually follow both guards. So you have your tight end block down, your tackle block down, your fullback block out. This guard pulls and leads. Your off guard pulls and leads. And then this halfback gets right in behind this off guard and gets up the field. And a sweep, again, means a sweep where you're sweeping around the end, an outside play. Follow all those lines?